Hey Mini enthusiasts, how are you doing? Well, bit of a surprise. I've bought another Mini. Let's go and take a look. So bear with me and I shall reveal all. So there we go. I'm sorry, I think you're probably a little bit disappointed. You expected to see a classic Mini, but I needed to buy the wife a new car, and it was to replace this old Astra behind it, which has done a lot of miles, been a good workhorse, so, but I thought a classic's never really going to work for her going to work, getting the shopping, that sort of thing. But at least if I get one of these, she can come to the mini shows and have a bit of fun as well. So it's a 2010, it's a Cooper D, I know, diesel, and it has a Chilli Pack, whatever that means. I think it means it's got bigger wheels on it. It's called, the colour's hot chocolate. I don't know whether it's a hot chocolate edition, but it also has matching hot chocolate interior, which is pretty cool. It looks pretty nice. Let me show you. So it has that lovely brown leather, which I really like actually. I looked at lots of big Minis, Binnies. They look, I thought they looked horrible with a cloth interior, but this is quite nice. I won't show you all around it. I'm sure you're not that interested in a big Mini, Binny. But I got it for a reasonable price. It does have some problems though. So maybe I'll do a bit of a workshop. Let me know whether you want to see them, because if you're just going to give me loads of thumbs down on the videos, I won't bother, but maybe it'll interest someone. So one of the problems is you turn on the ignition and this is like a handbrake warning light here. That comes on and it stays on all the time, so even when you release the handbrake and you're driving along, that light stays on. I also get a brake pad warning light in the dash here, and occasionally when I reverse or turn on the type lock, I get the ABS, I get the traction control I think, and the TPMS warning light coming on as well. So something isn't right. The guy fitted brake pads recently on the front discs and pads, and he said to me this light was staying on just because the brake replacement interval hadn't been reset on the dash. Unfortunately, when I try and reset it on the dash, it won't reset, it just keeps cycling through. So there's a problem there. We'll have a look at it and find out what it is. Apart from that, it's all right. Seems to drive all right, no real issues. The suspension's very hard on it. It's just like a classic Mini, but I think that's because it's got run flat tyres on it, 17-inch wheels, and I assume a bit sportier suspension. Forgot to mention as well, I had to buy something for it straight away. So it has puddle lights on it, which are lights under the doors here. When you open them, there they are. These little lights come on and reflect downwards. And I just noticed on eBay they do some which have the Mini logos on them, so I'll try and get a photo later when it's dark, but it projects the Mini logo down onto the ground, which is pretty cool. I think they're only about 10-12 quid. Might do that on the classics actually, they look pretty cool. So I do apologise it's dark, but I had to come out and show you these. So they fit in the bottom of the door. Look really cool. Oh, and I forgot to say, I know metallic brown is not to everyone's tastes. My missus quite likes it because it's chocolate coloured, but I do need to get a bit of bodywork done on it. So got a big bit of peeling lacquer on the bonnet here. The guy said someone had egged the car and he'd left egg on it, it had dried and peeled back the lacquer. I'm not convinced. I reckon it's been painted on the front and they've not done a very good job of applying the lacquer. And it's got some key marks down the side here, which I don't know whether they'll mop out or wet flat them or something like that, but we'll give it a go and see. Okay, so I've found the problem on the Mini. The wife calls it Lolah, by the way, because of the reg number, but it's quite a cute name. I quite like it. So all that problem with the brake warning light not being able to reset the pad indicator, the ABS light coming on, TPMS light, stability control, all of that was down to the pad wear wire, which is on the near side front. I think there's only one on the front and there's one on the back. And guy had done the pads, he's not clipped it back in properly. And it was rubbing on the inside of the wheel, so I don't know whether you can see that on camera, but there's a bit of wire sticking out there. So what was happening there, just because of the way it was hanging, whenever I sort of turned the steering wheel on a tight lock, that rubbed against the wheel. Obviously put all the warning lights on, and it was as simple as that. So it does make you wonder sometimes when you buy a used car. I always say this: no one sells a good used car. There's always something wrong with it. There's always some reason why the last owner thinks, do you know what, I'm going to get rid of that car. You know, something that's annoying them. There's something that's bugging them. They think there's a big bill coming or something like that. There's always a reason. Now and again, people genuinely sell a car to upgrade. But I'll tell you what, from my experience, a lot of times I always find things on cars that are like potentially money pit problems. So for something like this, I don't know much about the guy I bought it off, but you know, if I had those warning lights lit up like a Christmas tree on the dash and I've done all the brakes, I might be thinking to myself, oh my god, it could be the ABS pump or something like that. So in the end, it was these are 14 quid, I think they asked. They're not expensive, and just to prove it was okay, all I've done, has a white plug on the end of here. I've cut the end off the plug. There's two wires in here, so I've joined them together on the plug, plugged that back into the car, and it works absolutely fine. So I'm well pleased with that.